Oppo F1 Review. The F1 boasts of a front camera with a wide aperture and some software tricks to help you capture that perfect selfie. Let's see how it fares against selfie-focused phones from Asus and others. In terms of build and design, the Oppo F1 is a class act. The metal chassis looks and feels incredibly premium, and we love the fact that, at around 134 grams, it's very lightweight. The phone fits very well in your palm, with a comfortable grip and buttons that are ergonomically placed. The volume rocker and power buttons are placed on opposite sides and have good tactile feedback. In the front, we have a 5-inch HD IPS display which produces vivid colors when used indoors, but tends to appear washed out under sunlight. The display tapers around the edges, making it a smooth transition from glass to metal, and we even have Corning Gorilla Glass 4 for added strength. There's a notification LED in the upper right corner, and capacitive buttons at the bottom for navigation, which sadly aren't backlit. The primary camera on the Oppo F1 has a 13-megapixel sensor and an aperture of f/2.2, with a single LED flash. The speaker grille is placed at the bottom. There's also a 2500 mAh battery which is non-removable. The Oppo F1 is available in gold and rose gold, however the front fascia will be white in both cases. The dual SIM tray is placed on the right and is a hybrid type, so you'll have to choose between a second SIM and a microSD card. We don't have any complaints when it comes to the physical aspects of the phone, as Oppo has done a splendid job of putting it all together. We wish the brightness level of the display had been a tad higher for better outdoor visibility in daylight, and backlighting for the navigation buttons wouldn't have hurt either. In the box, you get a standard 5 watts charger, a silicone case, a headset, and some instruction booklets. The quality of the supplied accessories is good, except for the headset which feels cheap. The Oppo F1 is one of the first few phones in the market with a Snapdragon 616 processor. This new octa-core SoC from Qualcomm is virtually identical to the now common Snapdragon 615 processor, but runs at a slightly higher clock speed. To be precise, it's the lower power Cortex A53 cores that run at 1.2 GHz rather than 1 GHz on the 615. In addition to this, there's 3 GB of RAM, 16 GB of onboard storage, support for up to 128 GB microSD cards, and 4G VoLTE on band 1, 3 and 40. In terms of connectivity, we have Wi-Fi B/G/N, Bluetooth 4.0, USB OTG, FM radio, and GPS. There's no NFC. The Oppo F1 runs an Android Lollipop fork called ColorOS 2.1, which is one of the better looking and functioning custom Android forks out there. It's a single layered interface that can be customized with different effects and themes. Oppo throws in some apps such as Security Center for monitoring data usage, freeing up memory, etc., OCloud, which lets you back up your contacts and messages, Kingsoft Office for working on documents and spreadsheets, and Theme Store for customizing the phone. General performance of the Oppo F1 is very good. The interface functions smoothly and apps are responsive during multitasking. The phone works well on 4G and runs cool for the most part. The only time we found it getting warm was during continuous video playback or when using the camera for video recording. Call quality is also very good as we didn't face any issues here. Benchmarks showed a slight bump in scores over the Snapdragon 615, as expected. Antutu gave us a score of 35,531 points while GFSbench returned 23 FPS for the T-Rex test. Real-world game performance is pretty solid, and we didn't notice any issues with heavy or casual games such as Dead Trigger 2 and Alto's Adventure. On average, there's about 2 GB of free RAM available for apps. The Oppo F1 handles high bitrate video files with ease and also supports FLAC audio. The bundled headset feels cheap and doesn't sit in your ear comfortably, but the audio quality is pretty decent. There's no audio enhancement software. The rear speaker is decently loud for alerts, but since it isn't stereo, it's not the best for watching movies.